spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Will come up with you, and then I'll break him. You're gonna, hey everybody. Okay, here we go. Welcome to the best live podcast in all of the land. It's On the Spot with David Rodgers on this beautiful Tuesday night here in the Pearl of the South, Start, Florida. My name is David Rodgers, creator and host of this great show. To my left, he is 220 pounds of screaming steel and sex appeal, and 1/3 of the new high priest of the Church of the Painful Truth, and also my color commentator for the Bradford Tornado radio broadcast on WEAG Eagle Country 106.3. He is the Byron Bagwell. Say hello, Byron.
Hello, everybody.
And our guy that makes everything happen, all the graphics, video, and sound. He is known by many names, ladies and gentlemen. The great Maharaja, the King of Steam, the Master of all disasters, the Prince of Punch, the Count of Monte Fisto, the Thane of Pain, the one and only, the dancing destroyer himself, Mr. Dave Holland. Say hello, everybody, David.
Thank you, everybody. Hello.
Yeah, you got many names, don't you?
I'm impressed.
Yeah, hey, how about that? Welcome to the show again. On the Spot Tuesday night here. Yeah, beautiful Tuesday. We've got, oh my goodness, yes, we got breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, and here it is. Grand Theft Auto stopped in progress. This is from Sheriff Gordon Smith, the Bradford County Sheriff, which y'all all know. Early in the afternoon on September 16th, a local business in Stark, Florida, near Temple Avenue and Brownlee Street, contacted the Bradford County Sheriff's Office Combined Communications Center, reporting that a suspect had jumped into a customer's vehicle and immediately fled the area. Within moments of receiving the 911 call, BCSO dispatch alerted nearby deputies who quickly responded to the area. The vehicle was soon located traveling southbound on US 301, where deputies conducted a high-risk traffic stop, apprehending the driver and suspect, later identified as Jacqueline Williams out of Micanopy, Florida. Thanks to the business owner's prompt report and the swift coordination between BCSO communications officers and responding deputies, the stolen vehicle was recovered quickly and returned to its rightful owner. Jacqueline Williams was arrested and transported to the Bradford County Jail, facing charges of Grand Theft Auto and DUI. And guess what? This is not the game, Grand Theft Auto. It is the real game. You're going to be in the real jail of Bradford County. Thank you, Gordon Smith and your deputies, for doing an outstanding job. I tell you, breaking news right there, ladies and gentlemen. We have it here for you first on the Spot with David Rodgers, the show that you can catch each and every Tuesday night, whether it's doing stuff like this or a regular show, doing football games for the middle school or whatever it may be. We are, I feel, the best live Facebook podcast in all of the land. There's no doubt about that. Let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. I'm going to let Mr. Byron Bagwell tonight lead us in our prayer, and then I'll lead us in the pledge, and then I'm going to have Byron give us a couple of quotes, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, for sure. Things that are going on not only in our county, not only in our region, but in the state, in the southeast region, and the United States, Byron. And the main thing that's going on that everybody's talking about right now, we can pick a lot of stories, is the Charlie Kirk incident. And I know that you're going to talk about that a little bit here in our, probably toward our last segment. But like I said, we got a lot of things to do before that. So what I'm going to have you do right now, sir, please, if you don't mind, is lead us in prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Now, there's a reason that I'm glad you did that, David. I wanted to do that tonight. And if anybody was watching me, I actually read it because I always mess up the lines towards the end of it and mix them up and switch them up.
Right.
I want everybody to think about that. The Lord's Prayer. We don't hear it very often anymore, and we need to start hearing it again, especially that part about trespass. Think on it, everybody. And Jesus said to recite those words as Matthew and I believe Paul said as direct quote from Jesus. And we really, really need to get back in this country to our founding beliefs. With the things that are going on now, we need to.
Yeah, and I wasn't laughing at you, Byron, at what you said there. I was looking at some of the comments that was coming across, and I know you're well aware of Mr. Stephen Rigdon. Do you know Stephen Rigdon?
I think so.
Yeah, he says Byron does 300 push-ups at work every morning.
Oh,
Well,
I don't know about 300 anymore,
Stephen,
but yeah.
I love you, Stephen, but I can tell you this. Me and Byron, the only push-ups that we do is pushing away to the table and away from the table. We're really good at that. I can tell you, me and Byron has had our share of food at many places, and I tell you.
Keep on saying stuff like I weigh 220 pounds. I weigh nowhere near 220 pounds.
Okay, what is it?
It's 200.
Oh, is it 200?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry. I thought it was 220. You told me at one time it was 220. You lost 20 more?
Oh no, that was what I weighed when I started losing.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
I get it.
So you weigh. Hey, look here. You weigh 200. You weigh 220 pounds at one time. Now you weigh 200.
No, I weigh 200.
That's good.
It was very good.
I weigh 273. Now I'm down to 215. Hey, that's really good there. How about that? You remember my fat gut? You remember when I used to, man, I could barely move. I could barely do anything.
That's good, brother. I really glad that you've lost that much weight.
Yeah, and I tell you, I feel better. I can do a lot of things. Now, there's some days where the blood sugars that I have to, the medicines I have to take, sometimes I mess it up or whatever. There's days, man, I have to get me something to crunch on because it's too low.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's some days where it's too high. But I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't know how you feel about it, B. I'd rather be too high than too low. Yeah, and not very, real high, but too low, you can definitely faint, pass out from that. But then if you're the other way, that could cause problems as well. So
yeah.
I really never had that problem, so I really don't have a metric to go by.
Yeah.
So that's
anyway,
good to hear.
Yeah. So Shirley Bagwell's on. Lisa's on. Hello, Lisa. Shirley Bagwell's on. Hello there, Mom. I love you. Kara Wainwright's on. Ben Carter's on. Herbie Patsy Rogers is watching. So, hey, glad to have all you guys in. So we just heard the prayer that Byron did. What am I thinking about? Byron did. And that wasn't rehearsed, ladies and gentlemen. I was just thinking to throw a little something new. Byron wasn't here the last week when we did the game. You was here the week before, was you, or was you not? Can you remember? You had been here for 2 weeks, right?
It's been 2 weeks at least. If you weren't going to, if you had not asked me to say the prayer, I was going to use that as one of the quotes anyway.
Okay.
Because this country needs that.
It does, man. With everything that's going on today, man, and we're going to get into all that. But anyway, let's go to the pledge, Dave. Do you have that beautiful red, white, and blue flag up?
I do.
You do, okay. And when everybody sees it, we'll go ahead and stand and rise for that beautiful flag. And there he goes.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. How about that, Dave? Right in there, wasn't it? How about that? You didn't want to add, there you go. So we got that flag just a waving. Again, welcome in on the spot with David Rodgers. And, hey, we've got a great, great show planned out for you tonight. Got a lot of things to talk about. People wanted me to talk about tornado football. People want me to talk about college football. We'll get into that if time allows. But we've got a lot of stuff to cover in this short, packed show. So, Byron, I'm gonna go. Yeah, let's get a quote. Absolutely.
He who is not angry when there is just cause for anger is immoral. Why? Because anger looks to the good of justice. And if you can live amid injustice without anger, you are immoral as well as unjust. Not a founder.
No, I didn't think
Not
so.
a writer. I will give you guys a hint.
Okay.
This is a saint. A quote from a saint.
St. Thomas Aquinas. That's what I'm going to go with. St. Thomas Aquinas. David?
St. Augustine.
Nice one. I like that one too. Let's see if anybody else there. You want to read it again? We'll see if we get any answers. There you go.
Give us a reading.
He who is not angry when there is just cause for anger is immoral. Why? Because anger looks to the good of justice. And if you can live amid injustice without anger, you are immoral as well as unjust.
I'm going still St. Thomas Aquinas. Something just tells me that that's St. Thomas Aquinas.
Something tells me that you saw my post the
I
other
didn't know
day.
I didn't.
I don't know too many saints,
I'm
but
assuming I'm right then.
I'm going to go with what Dave said.
Well, he gave it away. I would have never guessed that in a million years. But when he said a saint, but you had a good choice as well.
St. Augustine.
Well,
hey, he was a saint.
there's a whole bunch of them, and they had there's some pretty good quotes from all of them. But I've used that quote before.
Yeah.
Yep.
St. Thomas Jefferson.
Well,
he was never sainted, but that's
something he could probably say.
Right. So, again, Byron, thank you for that. And I want to thank you for that prayer because I haven't heard that in a while. But, I used to say that every day. When we was in school, we used to say that prayer every day. Every day.
It literally was told to the apostles by Jesus how to start your day.
Yep.
And prayer in the morning. That's how you were supposed to start. Because they asked Jesus how did they pray, and he said this is a good start. And that's how the Lord's Prayer came about.
Yeah, you're right.
So look, there's so much stuff going on nowadays. There's so much evil running around in this world that it is just unbelievable. And for us to sit back and be able to handle it and deal with it, we need the Lord's help. We also need to put a lot of it in the Lord's hands. And that's something that's extremely hard to do, especially with thinking, reasoning beings, because you want to try to fix everything. And sometimes there's things you just can't fix.
Yep, and that's exactly right. So I wanted to start off with some community happenings and things like that that's going on. If you're looking to post anything like an event that you got coming up or anything that's coming up in the community, Keith Warren, which is Barry Warren's nephew, he does a good job. He's got a page called the Bradford Connection, and then plug into your community. If you'll reach out to him, he can go ahead and get that listed on the Bradford Connection and the other pages that he monitors as well. So want to make sure that you get there and look at that. It's called Bradford County, Florida Community Info Hub. And again, the Bradford Connection is sort of what he's called it. Like and follow the page. There will be a lot more content to be added more frequently to the local businesses and owners of Start. If you have an event or special you'd like to share on the page, send it to the page or email over to Keith, we got Barry Warren on the mind now, at admin@bradfordconnection.org. And we've got several things that's going on in the community. Hey guys, are you looking for something fun to do this week? Well, we've got you covered. Come join At That Grill Life at the Downtown Grill on Wednesday night for bingo with Lynn Starley, and follow it up Thursday night with the return of Team Trivia with David Rodgers. Both nights kick off at 7 p.m. and both events are free to join. You can contact the game host for table reservations for your team or party, as tables do fill up quickly at times. Have some fun, enjoy some great food and drinks, and we'll see you there on Wednesday and Thursday nights. How about this? Dave, what you got? Oh, let's see. He's got something coming for me. Oh, yeah. A round of applause, Byron.
Okay.
Where is he?
You're good to go.
Oh, I'm good to go. Oh, you already did it.
Yeah, you can't hear it because
Oh, I
I
can't
can't
hear
have
it.
the audio.
Oh, I'll be daggone. Okay, that's all
You
right.
have to.
Sound
All right. Well, guess what? We have the Great Pumpkin Escape coming up. How about that? Well, let me go back here. The Great Pumpkin Escape. Let's see more. Okay. There's always a great time for the community. Mark your calendars and come join the North Florida Region Chamber of Commerce and start downtown Merchants for an evening of spectacular fun. That is the Great Pumpkin Escape. Games, music, food, candy, and a pet costume contest. I'm already wearing mine, so I don't have to worry about getting me a costume, Byron. That's on October the 25th, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Where at? Call Street in historic downtown Stark. Vendor applications are available through the North Florida Regional Chamber of Commerce, and you can contact them for more info. On that same day, guess what else we have? We have a car show that I'm in charge of for the ARC of Bradford County, trying to raise some funds. So if you have a beautiful car or an older car, you can bring your wagon. I don't care. We bring something there. Hey, yeah, man, we'll register that up too. You can come out and join us for that car show. We're going to have it in the same area as that Great Pumpkin Escape is going on. So we're going to do 2 events in one, and all the monies that we get is going to the general fund of the ARC of Bradford County. So, right now you were talking about how things are evil and just things not going well right now, not only here, but in our great country around the world. Funding has become one of those issues for everybody, especially if you're looking for help from any of our governments or anything like that. They say money's tight. They can't, they can't fund this and fund that. And the ARC is the same way. I'm a member of the ARC board, and I'm, sort of the fundraising coordinator, I guess you would say. It's tough when you can't get the funding that you need to run these operations, and it takes fundraising activities and things like that that's going on to help out with that. So again, if you know anybody that's got a car that wants to enter the car show, we're going to be doing the registrations the day of. So please come out there. We're going to be parking the cars along Call Street. We've already got that cleared. Everything's ready to go. So make sure you come out there and join us for that. Let's see. Love seeing local organizations working together with local business owners to make the community a better place. Shout out to Altrusa Club of Stark. What did your mom call you? I'm trying to remember Shirley was. And Strips and Scoops for building a better community, one book and ice cream at a time. Well, I love ice cream, so hey, that's a great thing for me. So, but anyway, several things going on, and I'm gonna be looking at those things as we come up. But anyway, let's see. What is the date of the car show? Also, do you allow antique farm tractors? Absolutely. Bring your tractor, bring your wagon, bring your lawnmowers. It don't matter to me. We'll register them all up. Hey, we'll have a good time with that. That's October 25th, Scott. From 5 to 8 is the Great Pumpkin Escape, but we're going to be doing the car show from 10 to 2. So make sure you come out there. We're going to be lining everything up on Call Street, right there, starting at the downtown grill, going up and down as many spots as we need, Byron.
Yep. Yeah, David. It's a great thing when you're able to do things like this for your community, and this will be a great event for Bradford County to come out and support.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll hang on a minute, and I'll read that off to you. Byron, what else do we got on the board that you can think of? I'm gonna pop the ARC of Bradford County up right here on my iPad.
Sure, I can think of an event that's going to happen this Friday night.
Well, talk about it, man.
Hey.
Everybody's interested in that.
Hey, we have a football game this Friday night at home at
Finally.
David Hurst Stadium. We're back. The Bradford Tornadoes are back at home this Friday night. The game starts at 7:30. We'll be on WEAG starting at 7 with the pregame show. They're going to be playing Eastside.
Yep.
It's basically a renewal of a rivalry that was actually in our division at one point, and now they're actually up a division from us.
Yep.
They've got a pretty good football team, so please come out and support your Tornadoes Friday night because we can use as much noise as we possibly can use. We have a 6-game winning streak against them now.
Yeah, I think so.
We need to make it 7.
Last Friday night, things didn't go well for us. Me and Byron and Dave, we went and did the broadcast for that. I want to thank Dave Holland for the great video that he got for that game. Unfortunately for us, sometimes we're at the mercy of the other team's rules and regulations. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but Dave actually had got a spot in the press box. Me and Byron had to leave because the coaches were in that box we were supposed to be in. So we had to do the game from in the stands. And I thought for what we had to do, Byron, it was a pretty good game. But, man, just things went weird that night, man. After we left and we ate, we went there, we're thinking everything is great. And then we get up there running a little bit late because of Jacksonville traffic, but it wasn't that much. We were actually there in time.
We were there before we were supposed to wait.
Yeah, actually, we'd have had about 15 minutes before we had to do that radio check.
Yeah.
And you had the video already sort of, ready to go. And it was just one of those things that.
Yeah, the press.
We got kicked out of the press box.
Well,
basically. So, but I do want to tell everybody this. If you weren't there and you weren't able to see the game, Bradford County lost that football game against a 6A school 14-7.
Yep.
Our defense held one of the best players in the nation. Matter of fact, he's the number 1 ranked sophomore in the nation.
Yep.
He's a wide receiver returner that Maynard has.
Bryson Wright. We'll just say his name. Yep.
They held him to one offensive touchdown. One offensive touchdown. That's all the defense allowed. They scored 14 points because he scored on a
87-yard punt return.
Mm-hmm. So we just couldn't get anything going on offense. The offense was flat that night, and they scored against what was another outstanding defense that we played.
Yes.
We don't need to hang our hats. That team is 4 divisions higher than we are and has all sort of people to pull from. They played an outstanding game. Those kids played their hearts out. And, I sit back and look at it. Well, a loss is a loss. That's true. But it's not a division loss, so it's not going to really, truly affect us in the playoffs.
No.
If they go and meet their next opponent, which is crazy because I'd never schedule this team. I don't care if I'm 6A or not. They're playing Miami IMG. And if you know anything about that, that's basically a JUCO college team. They get students from all over the nation, and basically it's a football school. They're nationally ranked in the top 10 every year. That is a powerhouse. Now, if Mandarin goes and plays them really hard, how good that's going to look for us.
We talked about that on Sunday, Byron. Yeah, that's definitely going to look good for us. Let's say that game, and I don't know if it is or it isn't. On paper, IMG should run away with this thing.
And I think IMG probably is going to destroy Mandarin.
But if somehow they can keep this close, it's going to look good for us on our resume. Because you look at the schedule from that game on, me and Byron, we even talked about it. Cliff talked about it on the way home. You look at that schedule, and Bradford can easily win all those games. They're going to out-talent everybody else that they play. However, you don't play that game on this.
That's the problem with this upcoming game.
Yeah.
Because Gainesville Eastside has got a pretty good football team this year.
Yeah.
So, look, there is nothing to hang your hat about losing
No.
17-14 to a 6A school that's basically in the top 5 power ranking in the Jacksonville area.
Wow.
Yeah.
And has players that are nationally ranked number 1 in the nation.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they got 3 or 4 Division I guys. You got 2 commits to Miami. You got 2 kids that are being offered by Florida, and there's other kids that me and Byron and you don't even know about that's being offered.
Why is that setup happening?
Well, because we actually had to make up a game last year here, and they asked Mandarin if they wanted to play us because they had an open spot in their schedule.
Oh, okay.
Mandarin came here last year.
Yeah.
And we beat them, and then we had to, of course, return the favor on their spot and go to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And they're 1-1 in the past 2 years against a 6A school.
And we beat them.
Really good 6A school.
We beat them when they was ranked number 1 in 6A in the state, and they was like 2 or 3 in the state overall, wasn't they? Overall.
Wow.
And then they came down here, we beat them 18-13. So you see how close these scores are. And Byron is exactly right. They played a whale of a game. We didn't do much offensively. I think we need to kick that up just a little bit. And I guarantee you they're working on that right now. I can promise you. Yeah. You're gonna see this offense open up. And once Byron says that young sophomore quarterback get some reps and get some experience under his belt. He's just not experienced right now. He's making sophomore mistakes, and he's going to learn from that. And guess what? When he does complete that, he's going to be really good.
He's going to have a breakout game sooner or later, and everybody's going to go, "Oh my God, he's going to throw 350 yards and 4 touchdowns or something like that in one of these games."
Wow.
And against a good team.
Yeah.
Because he's capable of doing that against some of the teams that we play that aren't as good.
Yeah.
You probably see it then, but I'm talking about against a good football team, he's going to do something like that. But you sit back and look at it, David, and honestly, think about this. Whether they are close to IMG or not, how is that game not going to look good on us?
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, we're stepping out of class way out of class to do that and play these teams. And I'll tell you another thing that hurts Bradford. When you have gone 30 before this season started, 36-5 over the last 3.5, almost 4 years, guess what? You're having a hard time finding opponents to play. Nobody wants to play you. So you have to go get these bigger schools or anybody that wants to play you. And for Bradford and any school, but for Bradford, it's good that you play these kind of teams because all it's going to do is help you in your class and in your district. And guess what? It's going to help you, like Byron said, in the power rankings. When it comes to the end of the year, I'll just give you a scenario. Let's say Bradford runs a table. They're 9-1. And the only loss is a 14-7 loss to Mandarin, and they only lose to IMG by 10. We're probably going to be number 1, number 2, or number 3 in the state. I can assure you of that. And we're going to get home games all the way through unless we're the 1 or 2 seed because then we'll have to travel to somebody's place. But if you can stay in that 1 or 2 seed, at that 1 or 2 line, hey, you're going to get home games all the way through, just like it happened, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we rode all that way through to the state championship game. Really should have won that. We can discuss that later. But, I mean, hey, at the end of the day, like Byron and you were saying and Cliff was saying, this team can really do some damage. We've got the defense to do it. And, everybody says, man, you lose a lot of seniors. Okay, yeah, we do. But they reload. That's exactly right.
What the feeder partners
do.
What the middle schools do. I mean, what they did to Union County the other night wasn't just defeat.
No.
They destroyed Union County. And that was a pretty good football team. Program team. Yep.
David, Byron, I'd also like to remind our viewers that you can go on Facebook and watch the whole game live.
You sure can.
I don't know if Austin puts it on YouTube.
He does.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But even after the game, let's say you're busy. Let's say something happens and you're busy. So guess what? You can go back and watch your recording and our voices, especially when we're at home, because we never have any trouble there. when we're at home because we got our own space.
We got our own space.
Yes,
Nobody's running us out of it.
Nobody's running us out of that. We can shut everything off. It's noise reduced. We ain't got to worry about any outside noises. And guess what?
Except
you can go.
Cowbells.
Yeah, right. So, except the coaches next door. We hear them.
Hell.
Yeah, but anyway, hey, I get that. But anyway.
Yeah, you could view it on Facebook. You could view it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And hopefully, every game is going to be on Facebook.
Yeah, well, and it should be. So, where's it at on YouTube? Darian Wimpy, I'm glad you asked that. That is on the spot with David Rodgers. All you got to do is type that in the search bar, and you can go down. And David, Austin's not here to ask. By the way, Austin had a couple of things he needed to do. Our weather guy that usually comes in with us, he wasn't able to make the show tonight, but he's the one that puts it on YouTube for us. That YouTube event, though, Darren, is not available until the following day. So if you don't have Facebook, you wouldn't be able to watch that replay until the following day. He usually has it up. His target time is around 7 o'clock the following day, and you can go back and watch that replay with our radio broadcast, especially if we're at home. Now, if we're at a stadium where we have our own press box and everything is cool, you'll get a great sound. But there's times, man, we got to sit in the stands, got to do this, got to do that. And it's really hard, Byron, to bring sound and video at the same time because I want to say this too, our first foremost responsibilities for me and Byron is to the radio station. So if we don't have good internet connection or we can't get to it and get that set up, it is what it is. That's why I'm glad Dave Holland has been with us because he's got he's got his video equipment ready to go, exactly what we do this show on, and he's got it in our press box, and we're ready to go. And like I said, people's been complimenting on the shots that you're getting. They're not even going to any other networks or any other media streams. They're going straight to On the Spot with David Rodgers, and you can tell by the views.
Well, hey, look, it's a great service that we're doing, and what Dave and I try to do is we say that three times.
Three times, yeah.
What we try to do when we start that broadcast on Facebook is we try to all three of us share it to our page. That way, you can find it on the spot with David Rodgers, which is really where we want you to go and watch it. But if you're not, you're watching it on one of our pages too, because there's people that we know that are members of On the Spot. Like and subscribe, by the way.
Yeah.
And Shirley said you did a great job showing the game last week.
Thank you, Shirley. Thank you.
I know that y'all talked about that a little bit at breakfast. I didn't get a chance to talk to her about it, but I know that we didn't get a chance to put some voices to that. But again, sometimes it just happens that way. And like I said, we're at the mercy of the other school.
Going out of town.
Yeah, they can promise us the world. And if some coaches or some athletic directors or somebody comes up there and says, you got to move, guess what?
You got to move.
I mean, what are we going to sit there and do? Argue about them? Chuck and Mary does a great job trying to contact the school beforehand so we can get in there and get to those places.
Yeah.
But, man, sometimes, it just doesn't work out that way.
It just doesn't work out.
And that's what happened, as Byron said, at Mandarin. It just didn't work out. And, honestly, I don't know about Byron, but I think me and him's talked about it. I think I can speak for him. When you get flustered like that and then you have to go and you have, we were trying to do it off the headset. Chuck and Kevin's back at the station going, hey, man, we can hear everything in the world. And you got to go to the phone because the phone is more close. It's closed in. So, you don't hear all that ambiance and all that outside noise. And we were right there by that speaker, so the headsets didn't work. So, we do the best that we can with the broadcast because we have to pass the phone back and forth.
It breaks everything up.
And,
the game because you can't. I can't immediately respond after what David says about what the play is
correct
to describe the play. There's a break in the continuity of the call.
All right, and then we're trying to hold the phone. Byron is in charge of our commercials. So he's got to check off how many commercials that we do, or we're going to get lost with that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So he has that paper. And when you're outside, I just want to give everybody a picture. When you're outside and you're on a stand, you can't hold those papers. Me and him could not even hold a roster. And you've got two of them. You got Bradford's roster, and you got Mandarin's roster. So when where are you supposed to put them?
Yeah.
And then, of course, that gust of wind is coming. And it blows
Yeah.
everything.
And you're on the bleachers, and you're up there all the way at the top,
Yeah,
so you can see.
yeah. Which is a
with
great
no
view.
table.
No, there is no table. There is nothing to hold anything to nothing.
And your color commentator drops the stopwatch 3 times. You can't find it. It's a commercial.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
commercial. But we did what we
comedy
could. I thought it
errors
was
last week.
I've had my days too.
Yeah, well, I think Byron hit it on the head when we were talking about it, and I think we talked about it on the way home. I think we even all said it. By the way, me, Cliff, Dave, and Byron, we're called the Friday Night Game Day Crew because we all ride together and we go to these different away games together. And Dave does a fantastic job of trying, like I said, bring you the video. But last week, guys, and Byron even said this, it was just a weird night. It was just
all
weird.
all the way around. I mean, all the way around. Yeah.
Thank you, Shirley. Appreciate that. She said we did a good job calling it in. She was listening to it on radio, trying to watch it too. We did okay. We did what we could. We did. But it was just a weird night, Dave. Didn't you sing that too? It was just something wasn't, the ebbs and the flows was just not there. Even me and Byron said it like when we was going through a commercial breaks, like,
I didn't feel welcome.
well, okay, we could go there.
I did not feel welcome.
We're from Podunk Stars. That's their attitude about it.
Yeah. I know. I didn't either. I thought, honestly, again, Mandarin, you got a great football team. You got a good football team. Good luck this week against IMG. I thought some of the head people didn't give us maybe some of the respect, I'll just put it that way, that we deserved. And I didn't think they thought about making any kind of concessions for us. So, look, it is what it is. We did the best that we could. And, we'll go on to the next one.
Yeah. I'd hate to think that that's the way they treat all the all the teams that come.
You mean they have a radio crew or a video crew? I mean, you look at that.
Or anything, any out of town team.
Well, you was up there in the press box.
Or radio, media.
They don't have a radio crew.
No, they don't.
Most of those schools don't have radio crews anymore because it's not broadcast on a local channel for them. So,
yeah, Bradford will bring in radio and TV and
it's for
get the message out.
Well, and that's the way it always has been. And then I'm going to get right into what I wanted to talk about with Chuck Kramer. But, I thought we did the best that we could the other night. We did the best that we could in South Sumter. You didn't go with us to that one. It takes a lot out of you to do that.
Yes, it does.
It really does.
That South Sumter football game was far and away better.
Yeah.
From a broadcasting standpoint for us than the one in Manor.
Yeah. Byron, even if I wanted to set this up, even if I wanted to,
there was no way.
There was no way
in that stadium.
Yeah.
The South Sumter Stadium is actually better than the Mandarin Stadium was. So it just is what it is, and we do the best we can. And
that's all. That's all you can do.
Well, I think the reason that it stays so good, David, is because not only do we try to call the game as best as we can, but we actually enjoy calling the game and actually enjoy the football games. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably what comes through the radio the most. We get excited when they do something good.
Yeah, we do, and that's that's why I don't like being in an open press box, because I can assure you those guys, man, if Bradford's on a roll and they're beating the mess out of this one team, or even score. It don't have to be beating the mess out of them, just scoring. I mean, we get excited with the scoring, and we get loud and we get proud because it is our home team. But we do show love to the other team as well. How many times did we say Bryson Wright the other night? I mean, we gave that dude so much love.
You couldn't help it. The kid was phenomenally talented.
Yeah.
I will say this. I've seen 3 games that just were horribly officiated in the past 4 or 5 years, and not just from a Bradford standpoint. It was one of the ones that we played East Side in Citizens Field in Gainesville that was the worst game I have ever seen, period, in my life. There was like something like 600 yards worth of penalties on both teams. It was just horrible. There was no flow to the game. The referees didn't let the kids play.
Nope.
Neither team could really get a rhythm going. Bradford was just better than Eastside that
year.
Yeah. Then there was that game. That game at Southside. It was
20 penalties for 200 yards.
It was not as bad as the Eastside game, but there were some things going on in that game that I just went,
yeah.
What?
Yeah. What was that?
It wasn't just the penalties. It was the chain crew doing bizarre things.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Head referees being talked out of spots where he downed the ball and pointed to the spot that the ball was down and it went and talked to a sideline judge that was 5 yards away from it and moved the ball 5 yards up.
Oh, by the way, looking at drones.
One of the guys was staring off
into space. Remember when I was like, hey, he's looking at a drone.
It was just a bizarre game.
It was.
Because the referees were horrible. I mean, they really were. And in Mandarin, this one wasn't that bad, but it was not good either.
No,
so,
it wasn't.
I mean,
So leading into that, and like I said, we're looking at almost the 8 o'clock hour here in beautiful Star, Florida, Eastern Time, 7:58 to be exact. Leading into that, somebody has asked me, and I know Byron's probably been asked as well. Thank you, Shirley. By the way, I've seen that. That's why we do it. For people in Bradford County that can't go to these games or can't afford to go to these games, and they've got their radio and maybe they'll have their phone and like, hey, I hope I can see the game. What we do is a service for them, and we are glad to do it if we can do it. And again, as Byron said, and I've said, and you said, our number one deal is for the radio station. Mm-hmm. If you can get the video, that's fine. If I can get the video and you're not there, that's fine. You know what I mean? So we have to make our number one priority to the radio station because that's who takes care of me and Byron, and we take care of Chuck and that crew. And speaking of that, all of y'all have heard by now, the Kramers are retiring and selling WEAG, which it's already sold, by the way. He's already got a buyer from Little Rock, Arkansas. His name is David. I don't know his last name. Him and his wife. He is he does some podcasts and things like that. I know. Don't he own another radio station already? I think he does.
Please don't quote us.
Right on that. I think he does. And his wife is real estate agent in Arkansas, Florida, a couple of other states. So they're into doing a lot of things. I don't know. Chuck's talked to him a little bit about what's what he thinks ought to happen with the radio station. Me and Byron has not had a chance yet to talk to this gentleman. We probably will in December or January sometime to find out what the outcome will be of Tornado football going forward. I do believe, if everything that Chuck said, I believe that he's going to keep it. So we're going to be able to bring you the broadcast as far as I know right now. Is he going to make some changes to the station? That's definitely up to him. I hope he doesn't. I hope it sort of stays the same. If they want to give an upgrade or whatever, that's going to be up on him and her. But I think that at the end of the day, Byron, that we're going to be still calling Bradford Tornado football games.
Yes, I honestly believe we will, because if you look at the ratings for those football games that go on there, they're really high.
Since I've been doing it since 2015, Actually, it started the 2016 season with me and Kevin, and then Byron's been doing it with me the last 4 years. They're not really Nielsen ratings. I guess there's some kind of radio power ratings. But anyway, Chuck has told us some numbers that were just phenomenal. When we first started, I think it was like 21% share. Is incredibly high. And now it's like 46, 47, 48%.
Which doesn't happen.
That does not happen.
Wow. That's why I'm saying the guy is not going to get rid of Bradford football.
No.
He would be making money off of it, just like Chuck's making money off of the broadcast because of the radio show.
And plus, I think he wants to. He's got something going on in Little Rock. Like I said, I don't know what it is, and I don't want to speculate. We'll find out more about that as the time comes. But I think Chuck was sort of telling him he wants to keep the hometown feel. Is the way he sort of put it to us. He wants to keep the hometown feel. Wants to keep everybody here happy. And one of the things that make people happy is football. That's what they look for in the fall. And he may even bring other sports. Maybe Byron maybe call it basketball games or baseball games. We don't know yet.
As long as we don't have to call soccer, I'll be good.
Well, we don't have any of that, so we got to worry about that one. But it's just one of those things that is hit and miss right now. But if you've seen on the front page of the paper there, you can see that beautiful family there. And, of course, the grandkids aren't in that picture. And Tony, who owns Tony's Italian restaurant there, Lenny's married to him, and they're all pizza. Pepperoni pizza. So, okay. All right. I appreciate it, Austin. Thank you so much. But anyway, he's getting ready to retire. I think his last days are going to be somewhere in December, January. He may stick with him a little bit just to get him on board. Mm-hmm. And then, this guy's him and his wife's going to take it over. And I'm not sure what's going to happen there, what the morning show's going to look like. Chuck said he may do it. It doesn't matter to us. I just want to keep doing tornado football, me and Byron, because we love doing it, number one. And number two, we want to bring something exciting to the community for people. This is why we do this show. For people that can't get out and get their news or want to see what's going on live, they can sit at their house, like you said, put it on their TV, put it on their iPad, put it on their phone, and they can get this and tornado football when we broadcast it, when we call it. So, to us, it's a win-win. And, I don't think it's going to change. I'm with Byron on that. I think it's going to stay the same. Again, he may change some of the production stuff of it. That'll be up to him, but it is what it is. But I want to thank Chuck for everything that he's done for me and my family, and what he's done for Byron and Kevin and anybody that Chuck has touched. He's really a really good person. He really cares about this community. His wife, works there as well. She cares about the community. She's part of the women's club, and they're just a good family. And I wish them nothing but the best. And again, I just appreciate everything that he's done for me.
Absolutely. And Chuck has done so much for this community. Think about this.
Good night, Dwight.
Dwight, if you're still listening, we were 19 years old the first time we heard Chuck on the radio.
Yep.
19.
Yep.
And he's been in this community for long.
Since 91.
Since 91.
Yep, since 91.
1991.
Same year I came.
34 years now? Is that 34?
That's 34 years.
It's 34 years.
I mean, look, Chuck has done so much for this community. His voice is that classic radio voice. But you don't hear that often anymore. No. He's just a fantastic person who deserves a very, very happy retirement. Him and his wife and his children. Enjoy the rest of your lives.
Absolutely.
I mean, you deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for everything you've done. Chuck.
Yeah, but we really appreciate it.
And family.
And family,
That's a family. That's a family.
Do you know how I know this is family? His little 11-year-old granddaughter goes in there and helps produce the show for me and Byron. She'll help Kevin and she'll help Chuck. And she knows how to do those knobs. She knows how to bring commercials up. She knows how to do it all. And that's Danny Bellis. She knows how to do it. And it's so, like Byron said, it's a family affair. And again, we appreciate everything they do for us. You know, like we say, we're the runner for this vessel. We're just the voices out there calling the game. And they're the ones that make it happen. Like, you make this happen, they make it happen, man. We're just
two jokers who love football and know a little bit about it,
and that's it. And, and doing what we like best. So
underestimate our knowledge a little bit there. We know a lot about football because we made it our business to know football.
Yeah. And you're right, Dwight. Chuck will definitely be missed, and Charlie said, God bless him. They deserve a very happy retirement. They do. Yeah, he's given a lot, 34 years to this community, no matter what it is. And I can name a bunch of things that he's been involved in. He's the vice president of the art board right now. He, runs that, he oversees that, what do you call it, that right there on Call Street, that gallery, or that he oversees that. Yeah, he's been on the fair board. So Chuck has done a lot of things here. And besides that, he's brought great music, great news, great weather. And anytime there's some kind of special event going on, he's broadcasting it. So
and think about this. No Tony and Niles without Chuck.
No, definitely.
Or Tony's not Tony.
Yeah, well,
Tony, sorry.
Yeah, it was at one time.
Calling you Tony and Niles.
Yeah, because Lenny would have never met.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So yeah, So yeah. And,
I gotta take.
Man, I'm not doing a lot. No, I'm trying to think. I'm not thinking about my stomach right now because I really want something to eat. But anyway, I want to get into this, and then I want to get into something. I want Byron to get into something that's really has been prevalent over the news since it's happened, and that was the Mr. Kirk, and I want to call him that shooting and ultimate death. But I want to talk about one more thing before we get into that, because I know we're getting into the 8:23 hour. 8:08 hour. I'm looking at that thing spinning. I'm like, Byron, why is that minute hand moving so fast? But anyway, the Ark of Bradford County, mark your calendars. The Ark of Bradford County is excited to host their 21st annual Fall Festival on Saturday, September 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can join them for a day of family fun, community spirit, celebration of inclusion. Enjoy Cow Patty Bingo with a $1,000 grand prize. Do you know Cliff Smelly has won that before? Did he ever tell you that? He did. He picked a number where the cow pooped on. Yep, sure did. All right, hey, $50 a ticket, Byron. You can try it.
I'm sure he didn't pick it up and then put it up underneath.
Well, maybe he did. Okay. So anyway, vendors, raffles, food, games, and more. New this year, the pumpkin carving and pie eating contest. Plus, shop at the Ark Thrift Store and browse handmade products from the Ark's Wood Shop. Both open during the festival. Admission's free and everyone's welcome. Proceeds benefit the Ark of Bradford County and support programs that empower individuals with intellectual and developmental differences. Learn more, purchase Cow Patty Bingo tickets, become a sponsor if you want to, sign up as a vendor, or register for a contest at thearkbradford.org/Fall Festival. That's the Ark Bradford, all one word, .org/Fall Festival. And again, you can see the flyer on their webpage. You can go to the Ark of Bradford County and find all of this there. Let's see here. There was one more thing I wanted to get to, and I don't see it on here just yet, but about the car show. I know they talked about the gala here. Oh, I do want to mention one thing. We're trying to open a brewing company over there. It's going to be called the Access Brewing Company. I'm on that board as well. Me and John Williams, who runs the Ark, and Chrissy, raise a glass to inclusion. Have you ever been in the Ark building? Probably been a long time.
It's been a long time.
You know the big building, like right when you walk in the door and you walk straight back in that big open area there? They got like a big open building there. So we're trying to open up a brewery. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're actually going to have.
Yes, brewmaster. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So we're looking for some major sponsors. If you know of anybody, you can get a hold of me. You can hit me on my page. You can hit the Arc of Bradford County looking for some major sponsors. We're going to need quite a bit of money to get this up and going. But once it does, all the proceeds that come in through that door is going to go straight to the Arc of Bradford County's fund. And again, like I told you, they could use it. They need it. And I'll probably be working that. I'll probably have you working a couple of nights. It's going to be open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I don't think Sunday, but Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for right now. Until Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And
you won't be working.
Oh no! Well, me and you may drink the profits up. So
I need to talk to you about some stuff for that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Let's see. Join us. This is part of fall into the season's 11th annual holiday decor and gift show. They will be showcasing brand new lawn ornaments and wooden Christmas trees at the Fall Info into the season's 11th annual holiday decor and gift show. These beautiful pieces are handcrafted by the talented people that work in the wood shop. And I want to stop right there. If you've never been in there and you ever want to take a tour, I'll take you through there. You ought to see these guys working in that wood shop. Tony Sellers was an awesome boss. He retired. We got another guy named Scott. He's a really good guy. He runs that workshop. And these people, that's how they make their money. Sure. That's how they earn a living. The ones that can work make you say pallets. Yeah. You know, the pallets they make pallets for different distributors. They make lawn ornaments, like I said. Have you ever seen those birdhouses that they made? Oh, God. Yes, you have. Just absolutely beautiful. I wanted to get your mom one. Maybe I need to not tell her. I'd like to get to her. I will get Shelly one, too.
After what she just said, I don't know if you need to get her anything.
Yeah. Well, Shirley, that was one of the things that we are going to put in there as well. That's been talked about. So you can join us on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Make everything out of muscadine. Make everything out of muscadine and that way scoop all that mess.
Hey, while we're working it, Shirley can join us and drink some wine.
Where are we? Do you have any clue how expensive it is to import?
Yeah.
The types of wine grapes she's talking about. Never mind.
I hear you. But we got several things going on. And again, I'll put some more out about that car show. I thought there was a flyer on here. Maybe it wasn't. I thought I had it with me. But we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. I didn't get a chance to get into the fire assessment yet. She said, I heard that.
Yeah, you probably did.
David May, what's going on, brother? That defense you got is absolutely awesome, man. Woo! Hello. We just talked about that a little bit earlier. You can go back and watch the show. That's David May, our defensive coordinator.
Oh, man.
Coordinators, yeah. Woo! But anyway. Incredible. So we didn't get a chance to get into the fire assessment, but that's okay. I will next week. I do want to I want to give Byron some time here to talk about what happened with Mr. Kirk, Charlie Kirk. A shame. Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. It is. There's no doubt about it. That defense, I don't care about that loss last week, brother. I do care, but I don't. Hey, you played them about as best as you could. Your defense held them to 7 points.
7 points.
7 points. I've got no problem with that.
Unbelievable performance by them. The defense played out of their minds, like they always do.
Yes, they do.
Can't say enough about the defense.
Hello, Olivia. How you doing? Thank you so very much. We appreciate that.
You want me to?
She said, hello, family. All you guys look good.
Thank you.
Thank you. No. Let's go right into that while we got a little time here.
First and foremost, I want everybody to know that you should be doing the same thing. The thoughts and prayers to Charlie Kirk and his family, not just his wife and his children, but his mom and his dad too. To watch your son, husband, father pretty much get shot and die is a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. So our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family, all of us, from this show. There is a whole lot of stuff being said and being thrown around. There are people on the internet celebrating this.
Oh,
There are people condemning that, which they should do. There are people losing their jobs now because they are celebrating it, and their employers are being informed, which they should. Because and we've heard some things about they shouldn't be fired, but the devil they shouldn't. Somebody that has a business has to hold their employees to a certain standard about things. And if you have an employee that is celebrating somebody's death, you have every single right to tell them to get out. And that's what's happening to some of these people. There's been a call for the lowering of the political temperature and the rhetoric that is being spewed. And I am in 100% agreement with that. There needs to be a lowering of the political rhetoric. The problem is we are getting this both sides thing. You sit back and you look at what is going on. We have a majority of one side who knows better than what they're doing. Because if you sit back and look at this, not all Democrats are doing this. It's just a certain segment of the Democrat constituency that's doing it. They're being led by media outlets, and they're being led by certain members of their party. And I want everybody to understand this. And some of you may have seen other politicians and other public speakers say stuff like this. You can only call a segment of our population racist, sexist, bigoted, homophobic, transphobic, Nazis, fascists, evil people, until a certain segment of your voting base is going to take that to heart. And what did you do to Nazis and fascists? What did we do to World War II and World War II to Nazis and fascists? We killed them.
We killed them. Yep.
So when you have somebody that listens to that over and over and over and over and over and over again, and they're not mentally stable to begin with, they are going to act on it. And I'm afraid this is not the last time that they are going to act on it. This is not something that you see from a group of right-wing politicians or right-wing conservatives. You may see it from a fringe group every blue moon where they do something crazy. But you see this coming. Donald Trump was shot at once, hit, and not killed. They stopped another assassin at another time near Mar-a-Lago.
Right.
And there's no telling how many more times that's happened since then that they haven't told us. And then a man, a very godly man, who had a very, very deep faith and did what he did because of his faith. He didn't go yelling and screaming at people. He didn't go telling everybody from the entire party that they were horrible. What he did was he looked at people and tried to change their minds with words. He used debate to do that. And a certain segment of it is a certain segment because they've already proven who this shooter was, could not handle the fact that the man was intelligent enough to basically destroy their arguments. So what did they do? They took his life because they couldn't take his voice. It's a very sad thing. Now, like I said, that is by no means all of the Democrat Party out there, but it is a segment.
I want to stop by, if I could, just real quick. I want to catch these people's comments.
Sure.
By the way, thank you, Olivia. Appreciate that. Yeah, she said, "Hey, I like your shirt. Appreciate it." Yeah. Hey, I got it off Amazon, I think. Tori Carolina said, "What you were saying is interesting." She said, "A friend said we should prepare for a civil war in America."
You know,
I personally think it's coming at some point.
There are many multiple outcomes of this.
Mm-hmm.
This is a turning point in this country. Sorry. Yes, Charlie, you're welcome. I know you're watching and smiling about me saying turning point. That's his organization.
Yes.
This is a turning point in this country. We can either learn from what just happened and start treating each other better and stop with all of that absolute nonsense about the right having anything to do with fascists or Nazis. Our population is so ignorant to the fact that Nazis were socialists.
Yep.
They were of the left, not the right, the left. So were fascists. We don't understand the political spectrum at all anymore because a segment of our socialist progressive professors in the late 50s, early 60s decided they were going to turn the political spectrum on its head because they didn't like who they were associated with and started thinking that they should turn it on its head. Well, look, the whole entire thing is based around misconception and, quite frankly, deception. Because we have a group of people running around spouting lies about other Americans. They're literally the actions of fascism happened to Charlie Kirk. Because you could not silence his words and could not refute his words. What did you do? You killed him. That is the actions of people like Nazis and communists. If you look back in history, you see it. You see what happened with Stalin in
Yep.
Russia.
Yep.
The things that Stalin and Lenin did in Russia. You see it with Hitler. You see it with Pol Pot. You see it with these people. It cannot continue to be allowed to happen here. And it won't be allowed to happen here because you can't have a civil society, which is what this country is supposed to be from its founding, is a civil society where you talk to people and you use your words and not your fists and not weapons against each other. But it has to change. And it has to be a mindset of change. We have to do one of two things. We either have to defeat that at the polls and get rid of the people in the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party has to police itself and get rid of those people in the primaries, which is what I really highly suggest happens. Because we can't continue to have politicians do what they're doing. You know, Donald Trump has said some pretty inflammatory things, but I don't ever remember hearing him say things like we have to go out and fight. Like that. Which is some of the things that the Democrat Party has said. Go out and get in Republican politicians' face. Don't allow them any peace. Go and interrupt their dinners and their public life. Go protest on their front porches. By the way, there was an assassination attempt on one of the Supreme Court justices because of the ruling all over Roe v. Wade. Look, you can't have a civil society with people like that. And you're not going to have a civil society with people like that. The left has to police themselves because we can't. You've got to stop putting people in like that. These people aren't liberals. That term is so abused. Thomas Jefferson was a liberal. Do you think Thomas Jefferson would deal with this? I think Thomas Jefferson would have dealt with this in a very violent way a long time ago. That's a founder that helped start a revolution too. We should be beyond that in this country now.
So, you were talking about, we have to, The left has to police their people.
They need to
Even
police them.
even in the Republican Party, we need to police some of those people as well.
Well,
But yeah, and it all. And I'm trying to get to a point here. Which is we're in such a dire straits with political divide in this country that it is going to be hard, as you said, to bring this all together, because what has a political divide done? A political divide now has spread into racial tensions, which it has. It's become a black and white thing to an extent, and race. You know what I'm saying? You don't agree with that?
I don't believe this. I believe that there are some very intelligent people. That
No, I'm saying that overall.
Black, white, purple.
No, I'm saying overall. I'm saying from a looking outside in. I can pinpoint everything that you're saying. I'm just saying from the outside looking in. You can't sit here and tell me that a political divide has not caused racial tensions, because there's people that are on this side, there's people on this side, and if you look at the people on this side, it's mainly what?
That is changing though, David. Did you see
It
that?
hasn't changed yet.
Did you know? Yeah, it has too.
I disagree.
If you go back and look at the numbers of the Hispanics and the black vote from this last election,
Only on this election,
you will see a tremendous change in it, David. And
Byron, if that wasn't there, if it wasn't happening, then this would be happening right now.
the Democrat Party just lost 2.1 million registered voters.
Okay.
And over that same time period, the Republican Party.
I don't think you're trying to follow what I'm saying here.
I understand what you're saying. It's about perception. It's not about reality.
But perception is what's running this country right now.
Sure.
Perception. You know what perception? This is perception. Everything that you post on social media, everything that you say, mainstream media too. You got to look here. I understand what you're saying, and I agree with it. And I don't think you agree with what I'm saying here. It's not changing like it should change.
No, David, you're not going to change that.
It's not going to do that.
You're not changing that overnight. You're not going to change that overnight. You're simply not going to, because it's been in the colleges, it's been in mainstream media for so long,
right?
That people believe what they say. I don't believe hardly anything that comes out of the mainstream media. Anything.
I don't believe half the stuff that comes off of social media either.
Not much.
Yeah.
You know, I used to watch Fox News all the time. I don't hardly watch Fox News anymore either, because half the time it's like, okay, God, can we stop beating this over people's heads? Stop it. Mm-hmm. It's got to stop. All of it's got to stop.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Because I'm telling you, I listened to a representative from Virginia, mm-hmm. and he said that the way the left is now, and a big part of me agrees with this. We can't coexist with him. We can't coexist with them. We can't argue facts. We can't do any of that, because what do? They want to kill us. We get we're fascist Nazis.
I think that's what I was trying to say.
Okay, but he has a very valid point with this, David. In a civil society, you cannot have what we have now. The only thing that you can do with that is you can defeat it from another party's perspective. The other party has to police themselves. Because we're not the ones our politicians are not the ones, and our media is not the ones going out there and calling these people Hitler and Nazis. We're not doing that. Find one place that Fox News has ever called a leftist a Nazi or a Democrat a Nazi.
I understand what you're saying.
You're not going to find it.
No.
The problem is when you indoctrinate people into that thought pattern that we're racist, sexist, bigoted, homophobic, Nazi, fascist. It goes on, just horrible people, on and on and on and on. People that aren't smart enough to look past that and go, that's just political rhetoric, are going to take that to heart, David. And that really, because we talked about this guy being a nut job. And he was.
He is a nut job.
He was mentally ill.
Yeah.
The man was mentally ill.
But can you sit here and tell me that the left caused that shooting to Charlie Kirk? Can you sit here and tell me? And that's what I'm trying to get to you. But I can't tell you that it didn't.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you that I can make a very strong case for it? But
And can I tell you I can make a strong case against it?
After I say what I want to say, you probably can't, David, because a case can be made that if a certain section of our population wasn't normalized, instead of being treated as people that have a mental illness, which was removed by the AMA because of
But his illness didn't come because of a political rhetoric.
No, but he no.
You see what I'm saying?
But he was not treated correctly because they removed a mental illness from basically from the psychiatric books. I mean, I can really make a very strong case for that, David. And
I can make a strong case against it. I'm just trying to tell you, I can make a strong case against it. We can do it. Let's do it. We got a few minutes.
Okay. When you talk about transgenderism, the term used to be called gender dysphoria, and it was a diagnosed mental condition that was treated in certain ways. Mm-hmm. It has been since taken off the books because it was not politically correct to say somebody that was transgender had a mental illness. And what have we seen, David, since that has happened? Do you know how many murderers and mass shooters we've had in the past couple of years that were transgender?
We've had mass shootings and all kinds of stuff previous to that.
Sure, but were they transgender? Were they transgender, David? So
I know there's some that was transgender. I'm just telling you that there has been, because this has been going on since I was a little boy. You know what I'm saying? It's just gotten more prevalent now because we have let this get out of hand.
Of course we've let this get out of hand. Everything gets out of hand anymore when it's one side against the other, David. And unfortunately, it's been one side against the other since the birth of this nation. There's been 2 or 3 parties this whole entire time, and they've been different parties. But there always has been political rhetoric. The problem is the American public has been educated well enough to go, that's just political rhetoric. Now, that being said, you can sit here and make all sort of arguments that you want to about it, for or against it. I can sit here and bash the Democrat Party all to eternity with the stuff that I have in my head. But the problem becomes, me doing that does nothing to solve the problem.
Correct.
Until the Democrat Party decides to control their own politicians, their own constituents, and the news networks that they basically control. Till that happens, we're going to continue to have this. Because Donald Trump's not stopping what he says. I can promise you that. That's not who Donald Trump is. But if you listen to his words, he's not inciting anybody to violence, period. You say, what about Jan 6th? What did he say? Peacefully protest. And you can't say it any better than that.
And that's what I'm saying. You're saying that the left's got to, which I agree with. I agree with you. But the left is saying that we need to police our side. That they're talking about our networks. We're talking about their networks. You see the big ass divide that we have here,
David.
What are we doing? What are we doing to bring it closer together? And that's what I'm trying to tell you. There is nothing. It is so far gapped that there's nobody, nothing that can bring anything into the middle. There is nothing in the middle. A bunch of space is what it is.
What I see,
and Dave Holland has got a point there.
What I see when I look on a page like the Bradford County Word of Mouth, and I see people from this county basically saying that they're glad that Charlie Kirk is dead from Bradford County. There is a great divide in this country, and there is real misunderstanding about how powerful and influential, or maybe there's not. Maybe it's by design. The longer I look at it, the more I really think this is by design. And maybe not by the Democrat, all of the Democrat Party, maybe by some of its members, maybe not, but by design for people who want to destroy this country, who don't want to see it great. And quite frankly, make America great again. I didn't agree with that. I always thought America was great. I didn't agree with that saying, but there are people in this country who bash the living devil out of MAGA. What is wrong with making America great? Please tell me what is wrong with that. It doesn't just affect Republicans, it affects Democrats and independents and libertarians and everybody else that lives in this country. What is so wrong with that saying? But they demonize that too.
So look, Dave Holland Jr. says, if he pleads not guilty and claims mental illness, he won't get the death penalty. He will be doped up the rest of his life. But I believe he wants to die, so guilty will probably be the plea.
I was told today that there's not a charge that he's been charged with in the state of Utah that will get him the death penalty.
That's what I've heard too.
So the death penalty is probably out. I don't understand that because that was premeditated. I don't understand why they're not charged with
premeditated murder.
Yeah.
Well, your mom brings up a good point. Have they looked at the possibility that transgender might be a genetic disorder?
No, it's not genetic. I don't want to get us cut off of Facebook.
No, I know where you're going with that. I get
it. It's a mental disorder. It's a mental disorder. It's gender dysphoria. You can't change the fact that there was a diagnosed mental disease, and all of a sudden say, well, these psychologists didn't know what they were talking about. It just disappeared. It's been on the books for ages, and now all of a sudden it's not.
Yeah. Olivia Hill says transgender is actually madness.
Exactly. It's a form. It is a form of denying of reality. It's classic mental disorder, but you can't go too much into it. I can't sit here and say very much about it. Other than what I've already said, I probably said too much by now because you get cut off. Look, I pity these people. I want them to get help. I don't want to bash them. I don't want to say anything bad about them. But they need help. And that goes back to the point. If you look at the number of people that are transgender that have actually committed these mass shootings and the killings, if you look at the number in the past couple of years, it's shocking. It's shocking. David, I'll tell you something else. You said you didn't see this type of stuff back when you were young. That's because there were mental institutions still around when you were young. There are no more mental institutions because it was.
No, I said that this was going on when I was younger. Yeah, there was.
Just not as much.
That's not as much,
and
right?
The reason for that is because there were mental institutions back then.
That's correct.
That's why.
Yeah.
You have to have something wrong up here to go, I am going to sit up on top of a roof and pull a trigger on an innocent man's life. You have to. Now, that being said, you have to define innocent. And I'm talking about not in wartime. I'm not talking about military snipers or anything like that. I'm talking about people that would actually kill a citizen, not somebody in war. I'm talking about somebody that was talking to somebody. There's something massively mentally ill about that, or just massively evil. But I think a lot of it is these people are mentally ill, and they're not getting the help that they need.
So, mass shootings, we know that there's been a bunch of them. There's school shootings, there's church shootings, there's grocery store shootings. There are shootings by the dozen. I think there's been 47 this past year. Is that right? Since January, I think that was the number that I seen was 47. So that is 47 too many. And I'm telling you, every one of those had some kind of different. Was wrong. They wasn't all transgender, is what I'm trying to say. They wasn't all trans. There's some psychopaths out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, are you sitting here telling me that? No, I didn't think you were. I hope you wasn't.
What I am going to tell you is that just the regular psychopaths that are out there are going to do that too. You know how you change the mass shootings. You take these places that these people are going and make them hard targets instead of soft targets. That's how you stop that. People say, well, there's more guns. I am sorry. If there are a load of people that have guns around, people are going to think twice about walking in and shooting up places. You can't have guns in public schools. Some of the teachers in Florida actually kick the hearing out.
Yeah.
And I really don't think there's been a public shooting, a mass shooting in a Florida school in a while. Because guess what? They know that if they walk in there, it's very possible that one of those teachers has a gun.
Correct.
And they're going to shoot.
And you don't know which one. That's the thing. No, that's
it.
it.
You know they're going to shoot you to protect their students.
Yeah. And look, I didn't want to. I wasn't. I'm just saying
fine.
that.
You're fine.
Yeah.
I know what you were doing.
Yeah.
Look, we get it all the time that we're far right.
Yeah, we do.
I am not a far
right.
right
No, me
person.
neither.
I may seem like I'm a far right person, but I am a center right.
Yep.
Constitutionalist is what I really am.
Yep.
I have more of a political opinion akin to Thomas Jefferson than I do anybody that's far right. Let me explain to you what far right means when I say that. What we have as a definition of far right now is not a definition of far right. And I'll tell you why and how I will debunk what the left does with this really fast, and I'll make it really simple. Fascists and Nazis, what do? What do fascists and Nazis do? And I'm not talking about kill people. What do they do to their citizens? They control their thoughts.
They brainwash them.
They control their thoughts. They control their actions. They control their movements. Right?
Yeah.
Okay? So, if you take a look at what's left and what's right, the further left you go, the more control they have. There's more policies. There's bigger governments. If you look at it from that light and you look at history, you figure out that what we have as a political spectrum makes no sense at all. Because the further right you go, the less control the government has over its citizens. Matter of fact, if you go all the way to the end of the far right political spectrum, you have anarchy, which is total freedom. No government control at all, which doesn't work either. So I sit back and listen to this, and I just it doesn't make sense because you're talking about people who are espousing less government control, people espousing more government control. Now, granted that, let me tell you something that really makes people mad. Donald Trump is more of a liberal, center-left person than he is a center-right person. Some of the policies that he does, especially with tariffs, is not the actions of a right-wing politician at all. It's actually the action of how the Democrat Party used to be.
But that's all spun around, though.
It's spun. It's completely spun.
Yeah.
It's like the old Dixiecrat argument. Oh well, the Dixiecrats, when all that stuff was going on with civil rights, got mad and they went to the Republican Party. Can anybody tell me how many of those Dixiecrats that ran were primary? How many of them actually won the races against their Democrat opponent? The number is minuscule. They did not survive
No.
the Republican Party. There was never a flip. So there's so much crap and garbage out there. Unless you just want to spend an inordinate amount of time like I do looking at this stuff sometimes, you'll never know it. And you'll believe everything that you're being fed. I think the biggest problem that we have is our media allows this type of stuff to be slung around. Seriously, you're going to have anchors calling Republicans Nazis and fascists?
Mm-hmm.
It used to be if you did that in America, you would not have a job.
Well, and I'll just give you something, spin it off from here to this a little bit. The guy off of Fox News, Brian, that does
Kilby.
Friends. Yeah.
Brian Kilby.
Yeah. What he said about the homeless guy, about the homeless that killed the girl on the train, what's her name? Yeah.
Right.
So
I'm not even
you're
sure.
not even sure.
I'm not even sure
So
what he
I'll tell
said.
you what
That
he said.
happened, and then the very next night.
Well, yeah. So he said basically,
too. By the way, that was horrible.
Yeah, basically he said, they need to basically kill these insane homeless people. And he had to come back the next night and apologize, and he did fully apologize, and now it's gone viral over every mainstream media, every social media page out there.
Can't say stuff.
Then you cannot, and that's here's where I have a problem with everything that you said and that particular statement that this man said. And I watch Fox News sometimes. I watch OAN. I've even turned it to CNN sometimes.
Oh God,
Passed it. So yeah, I didn't say that too loud, did I? Just passed it. But anyway, so see, when you say those kind of things, Byron, and I think you'll agree with me on this, you're categorizing every homeless person in that rhetoric. You cannot do that. There's people out there that are homeless that are really trying and struggling and need help. And now you classified them in the same realm as this guy. And this is where I have a problem with all of this.
Oh, David, it goes back to what I said about asylums.
Yeah, well,
if you have people that have mental problems that are living on your streets, that's what those people used to live in asylums, and they were taken care of, and they were given treatment. Now, some of that inhumane. It could have been better. Yes, they should have never gotten rid of them, because then we wouldn't have a homeless population like what we have. Mm-hmm. These people could actually be getting help that they need.
Well, for some reason, we're not identifying any of that right now. And I know you got to help yourself. I get it. I understand that.
No,
but
you're absolutely right. You're not identifying.
I'm not identifying
because there's nobody there to identify.
Yeah.
David. You're going to actually go around and confront these people on the streets and talk to them about their mental health.
No. But I mean,
that's what I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah.
There's no way to actually.
No.
Good way to actually.
There's no good way unless you have general conversation. The problem with the homeless to me is that there is no guidance from our government of any form to go out here and identify the good, because there is good and bad in everything. There's good and bad. To identify who really needs help, get them their help, and then as you're talking to them and getting to know them, then you can start. And again, this needs to be a certified professional.
Don't please, and don't go out there and try to do that
yourself. No. It needs to be professionally done, and get these people the help that they need. But you know what? We just let it go. We've got other fish to fry. We've got to do this and that. And like you said, now I will say this about Jacksonville, Florida. I will say this. Have you been through there lately?
I know.
Have you? Yeah. And it's bad, but it wasn't as bad as it was. Darn, they were camping out all on Union Street, Beaver Street. You remember all that. You drove through there.
Well,
but they have cleaned it up some, but there is still a problem out there that is not being addressed as it should be.
Part of the problem is when these people are offered help, they won't take it. That's a part of the problem too, David. You cannot help somebody that does not want to take that help unless you have a specific way to diagnose what's going on with them and get them the help legally. like Baker acting somebody. Okay?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
David, you want to solve a lot of the problems with the homeless population? Federal government needs to take care of the homeless veterans. That will solve a percentage of that.
Yes, it will.
Period.
I'll agree with that.
You know these people, something's wrong with these people's minds, or they wouldn't be on the streets. At least not for long. For the most part, you take care of the veterans from this country, and you solve something, David.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
There are ways to go about doing this, but you have to acknowledge that there's a problem first, David. And half the time, these people won't acknowledge that there's an issue with this until something tragic happens. So. Look, and then the other thing you have to do is you have to come up with crimes for people who are out there who are not homeless, by the way, acting like they're homeless.
Yeah, okay, that is a problem.
That is a
big problem.
It happens all the time.
You see it over in Gainesville quite a bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I don't give money to people in Gainesville anymore because half the time I don't know if these people are homeless or just people ripping people off. No.
So in Lake City, we have the same thing. Every community has it. Okay, yeah. So if you're not telling me your community doesn't have it, you're absolutely must be in la la land because it's in every community. It might not be as prevalent in some communities as others. I'm gonna give you a prime example. Lake City, right there by the Walmart, right there across from that Hardee's. I go to that Hardee's quite a bit sometimes. Pick up breakfast for the guys or go get breakfast myself. And there's 2 or 3 of them that sit right there at that corner of that Walmart, right across from Hardee's. And you know what? After they're done, he gets in his black Escalade and he drives off. Drives a better car than I do. The other lady gets into I forgot what it was, a Mustang. A Mustang, drives off. These are professional panhandlers.
That's exactly what they are.
Yeah, but they're what'd you say? They're portraying that they're homeless and that they need help.
And they're continent thieves.
That's what they are. Now we need to definitely. We definitely need to get rid of those people. I agree with Byron on the veterans thing. I think we need to help. First and foremost, we should be taking care of them anyway. They sacrificed their livelihood to go in there to protect our country, to serve our country, to make sure that each and every one of us were safe. Some of these people don't even have any limbs anymore. You know, they're missing a leg, they're missing an arm, or they're down on their luck, brother. They've come back and they are just down on their luck and they can't find the resources or they can't find it in their minds to be able to help themselves. And this is where, like you said, we've got to figure out and go in there and federal government to get in here and clean some of this crap up.
The military, it would solve a lot of it. And you could
Shirley said the show cut off.
Not on my end.
No.
The timer is froze.
Is it?
Up here.
Oh, yeah, it is.
What?
Well, so you got 854 here and 854 there. Does anybody else have any issues? Shirley says that the show cut off. Let me go back. And see. I'm seeing some. They're still bringing likes and stuff up.
Yeah, they can still see us.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
The whole entire point to this conversation should not be left versus right.
No,
it shouldn't. You can point out the obvious.
Yeah.
You can show the obvious, which I've done and a bunch of other people will do, who they call us, quote unquote. I am not a far right wing person. I am center right. I am more akin to Thomas Jefferson's line of thinking than I am anybody that's further right than that. And Thomas Jefferson, by the way, was known as a liberal during his time period. So, look, it's got to stop. I don't think it's going to, David. Do you think there'll be a civil war in this country? I think what's going to happen.
I hope not. But
I think what's going to happen is some of this rhetoric is going to have to end. The cooler heads on both sides will have to prevail and some of the stuff stops. Because if it doesn't, what's going to end up happening is the certain side that's God-fearing and doesn't believe in certain things is going to get enough of being targeted, civilians being targeted from the other side.
Right.
And that's not going to be good because we have the majority of the guns and we have the majority of the ammo.
Yep.
That is not going to be good. And I can tell you, you don't want a civil war in this country now. We lost over 300,000 people troop-wise, and some crazy number like 700,000 plus in all during the Civil War. Okay?
Yep.
Imagine that with modern weapons. Do you understand what is truly going to happen in this country when the shooting starts? You're not talking about hundreds of thousands. You're talking about millions of people dying. That's not what this country is supposed to be.
You know what else you're talking about? You're talking about a word that you used earlier today. Two words. You're going to talk about mass chaos, and you're going to talk about anarchy all over the place.
You're not anarchy will not happen. Anarchy will not happen from that because anarchy is basically total freedom is the devoid of any type of governing system. There will be a governing system, and it will move further to the left than it is now because what they will do is they will put harsher restraints on everyone.
So, well, look now. So, when you're out here, we're talking about a civil war.
No, I'm not talking about on the battlefield. I'm talking about our government.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, isn't the battle going to be with the government? I think it will be to an extent, and I think it's going to be Democrats versus Republicans or left versus right. But you know what the thing is how do you know when we're out there and we're fighting? Who? Yeah, exactly. Who is who?
Who's who?
Who's who? Who is who? I mean,
there's ways to track that.
Track it, yeah, there is.
I mean, but this is opening a can of worms. It's opening Pandora's box is what it's really doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the best analogy to it.
Yeah, it is.
And I said a long time ago on the show that they were opening Pandora's box and they were going to have a hard time closing from the things that were being said and the things that were being done. And it's getting very close to having a bad issue with it. This country is so divided. And honestly, I said this to David earlier. I don't see how we coexist. That's the problem with it. I don't see how we coexist as especially when you talk about the far left and the far right in this country, which I don't believe there is a far right in this country.
I don't know.
Maybe a little bit further than right is center. I don't believe there's a far right because I don't see a whole bunch of anarchists running around.
Right.
You take a look at how do you coexist with people? One group does all of these things, especially when you start talking about the Christians in this country, with a strong belief in God, with believing in the Ten Commandments and all of this, and not believing in things like abortions and mass homicide shootings and things like that, and the other side, this far left, believes in that. How do those two things coexist? How do they continue to coexist?
I just know it keeps happening each and every day, and it ain't backed off any at all. I mean, I just right before we came on, I heard about the young man and that was found hung up at the up on a tree there in the Delta in Mississippi. I mean, this is stuff that's going on. And then in the other realm, I heard about another, I think 11 people that got shot in some parking lot in Louisiana. It's just on and on and on and on. And Dave, I'm telling you right now, I mean, we're on a show here, and we're only 3 people, and we're trying to get the word out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But it has to be more than us. It has,
David, there is more than us, David. There are more than us that are saying, pump the brakes, whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, hey, you got to show me some action.
The problem is that we're not the ones that are in power. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody up the stream has got to show some action, and they're showing none.
Yeah, well, there is things being done, but the problem, all you got to do is take a look at what they were talking about backing off the rhetoric. I wish Pam Bondi would have never used the word hate speech, because that is such a crock of crap. That term is such a crock of crap.
It is.
How is speech hate? It's a human action. And hate is a human emotion. So we're equating an emotion to an action. That hate crimes is another thing that's always bothered. Just crimes. You commit a heinous crime. It's a heinous crime. I mean, there's not much more hate.
But they define it as a hate crime, as a white versus black, and black versus white, and it does.
Hold on for a second. Are you telling me that the man that killed Charlie Kirk didn't hate him? Then how can you not define that as a hate crime? And you're talking about white on white crime.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't say that he didn't.
And that's I know that's what you're saying, but that's my point with this. You can't do that.
Right.
If you have a racist piece of garbage that is out there killing innocent black Americans, that is defined as a hate crime.
Right.
But if you have 2 gang members that hate each other and they're both African Americans and they run around killing each other, that's not a hate crime? How is that not a hate crime? The person hates. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
hate
I
is
get
an
it.
emotion. It's not an action.
But because they don't think outside the box, and they just think inside and what they've been told. You know, and that's why it keeps coming up that way over and over and over and over. And until something changes with the way that we define or we look at things, and I'm talking individuals. I'm not talking about our government. I'm not talking about me, you, and Dave. I'm talking about the way individuals think. It's never going to change.
In some circles, all white people are systemically racist because of the color of our skin. How is that not racist? You just call all of everybody that's white. It doesn't matter what nationality they come from or wherever they come from. How is that not racist? It is racist according to the original definition of race.
Yeah. We can sit here and define it all day, but
look, there has got to be some cooler heads prevail with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the way it is, I am not kidding you. We cannot coexist the way it is. And then the thought pattern for that is one side has to defeat the other. And I can promise you, the right-hand side of this is not going to try to defeat you by killing you. They're going to try to defeat you by outvoting you and out-talking you. Until it comes to the point where we can't walk out of a house and express our opinions for fear of being shot. When that happens, there is going to be extremely bad problems in this country, and I hope it never comes to that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I mean, you're right, and it's, you know, and at the end of the day, the way we started this particular segment off, you know, is that again, this man has left a wife and 2 small children, and what other family members, yeah, and
sister,
and brother and sister, you know, and he was killed because he was expressing his right of speech and trying to, in my opinion, trying to talk reasoning and sense to some college students and to whoever else was there. And
apparently he did, because take a look at the people
he did
following him on college
campuses, and he did. And then there's, you're not going to win everybody everybody over all the time. It's just not going to happen.
No.
But I think he was doing a good job of trying to win most of them over, and I think he did. And I'll be honest with you, I think he helped Donald Trump win the election with some of the younger vote. He did.
Absolutely.
And I will make no bones about that. Yeah.
Absolutely did. Look,
Yeah.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I do not think that Donald Trump is the greatest president we've ever had.
No.
I think he's an extremely good president.
Yeah.
That
I agree, Dave Holland.
that acts. This is the honest truth. He acts like an old school Democrat politician does from New York. That's how Donald Trump acts. And if you don't believe it, you can go back and look at him. You can look at it. As a matter of fact, you can look at some of the Democrat Party and compare how they act to the way Donald Trump acts, and you'll almost see a mirror in some way.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That is their whole entire problem with Donald Trump. He uses their tactics against them. Excuse me.
Dave Holland Jr., you're absolutely right. The ones screaming racism are the ones creating racism.
Well,
yeah,
Morgan Freeman said that the best. If you stop talking about it, it goes away. Yep. It only continues when we start talking about it.
Yep.
Keep talking about it.
Yep. Yeah.
This modern world, there are way too many ways to become intelligent and understand that being a racist is crazy, because people are individuals. That was what the original intent of this country was, by the way, to give people individual liberty and protect those individual liberties. So,
yeah. Well, and I've said this before, and I'm almost saying, then we'll close out the show. You know, we've got all this political tension, i.e., racial tensions, things that we're fighting amongst ourselves. And who is loving this?
George Soros?
Him. Yeah, he's definitely
I always got a smile on my
Yeah. No, that was a good one. But hey, the world countries out there, they're loving China and Russia, North Korea. They are loving this. They're going, countries too. Hey, y'all keep doing that. Y'all keep going. Y'all keep doing this. Y'all keep doing that, because eventually we're going to be fighting amongst ourselves. And I'm not saying that it ever happened. I don't think it could happen, I guess. If they come in here and take this over, if they all collusion together and come in and try, but they would have a war. I think then you would see people going, okay, we can fight amongst ourselves, but we're not letting nobody else come in here. You know, how many times have we talked about picking on each other? You know what I'm saying? Hey, I can pick with you, but don't let nobody else do it out there, because and I think that's what would happen in this case.
They released military intel, and I don't know if it was from the early 2000s or the 2010s, where China did a study about how it would be best to invade America. And the response that they got back is, you don't need to invade America, because there's a rifle behind, just like a certain
two rifles behind every blade of grass.
It's more than that now.
It's more than that now.
Ammunition than you can shake a stick
at.
If just the hunters of this country, people that hunted, formed an army, it would be the largest standing army in the world.
Yep.
Just the hunters, not
the hunters, right?
Not just not only gun owners, just the hunters.
And if you added them in there, it definitely would be for sure.
300 and there's how many guns? 300. It's 400.
Million.
400 million guns in this country, and something like, I don't know, 1 trillion rounds. Something crazy, something insane.
That's insane. That's an insane number.
Look, you can't invade this country There's
No,
there's
no.
You may hurt us.
You
may
may.
cause our
You may.
population to go down.
You may.
But sooner or later, you're going to get your rear end stomped.
Yeah,
That's what's
for sure.
going to end up happening with that. Because between our military technology and the armed populace, you don't stand a chance.
And Dave Hugley said, and that's probably the only day Americans will come together.
You know,
As of right now, the only I'm hoping that it does before that, but you're probably right.
Look, this seems like dark times, but I will say this: we've killed each other before. We fought a civil war before. There have been dark times in this country before.
Mm-hmm.
Our first president went and put down a rebellion called the Whiskey Rebellion.
Yeah.
Our first president, who wanted to tax nobody, thought taxation was theft, and quickly found out when he became a member of the government that there had to be some sort of taxation because they had to make the government function.
Right.
They tariffs on exports and all of that stuff is all well and good, but there still has to be money coming in to make the government function. So that's what happened, and then he had to go put down a rebellion because they didn't want to pay taxes.
Lisa said the devil has unleashed his demons. 10 after or 12 after 9. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It's 12 after 9. It's 12 after 9 Eastern time here in beautiful Start, Florida. Glad that you was able to join us on the spot with David Rodgers. David, real quick, tell the people that don't watch this show and they want to spread the word or whatever, how they can join our show. How do they know that we're going to be coming on each and every Tuesday or whenever, football game or whenever, Friday night, whenever?
Yeah.
What do you got to do?
Well, first you want to go to Facebook.
Okay.
Then you want to go up there and search On the Spot with David Rodgers.
Okay. Got to be spelled with a D too, right?
Yes. David.
R-O-D.
R-O-D, right?
R-O-D-G-E-R.
Oh, Rodgers, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so and then what? And then what happens?
Well, you find us, you go in, and then you can look at all the stuff we post on there. But if you hit that like button, and that's going to bring you into the group.
Uh-huh.
And when we go on the air or get close to going on there, I believe it pings you.
It gives you a ping.
Yeah.
Ding or ping.
Have we changed that yet?
No, you said you were going to work on that.
Okay.
Yeah, so you were going to come up with a tomahawk chop or something, or yeah. So I need you.
Hey, get ready on the spots. Get ready to come on.
So you can do that. Kurt, respect the right and listen, but let's all come to a common goal of unity. I don't agree with all the racist beliefs of the left, but we'll always listen. And Dave Holland Jr. says, good night, fellas, and good night to you, sir.
Kurt, I want to tell you something. That is exactly what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to be able to talk to people and debate them and either try to get them to understand your side and change to it, or you're supposed to come to a point where you know you're not going to agree to disagree and then go your separate ways and live life.
But when none of those happen and that person can't beat that other person in words, guess what happens? Here comes the guns, or here comes some kind of.
Now, I mean, it's not.
Yeah, now.
Like I've been saying since I got here before the show started, this is not all
Good
Democrats.
night, Mitchell. No,
It's
absolutely
not all Democrats.
No,
it's a minority of them.
Yeah.
That have basically been radicalized.
Dave Holland, no gator chomp here, buddy. You know me and Byron don't.
Oh, my
Gators? Come on.
goodness.
Now, Dave Holland Sr. does.
Uh,
Do you root for the Gators?
No.
Honestly,
that's not true. I will root for Florida when they're not.
Me too.
Florida
I
State.
will. I do. I do root for Florida, and I will be rooting for Florida for them to beat Miami. I hope they go down there and wear their rear ends out.
Not
I don't
against any other ACC team. I don't do that either. But for Miami,
Yeah,
please go down there and
wax them, man.
I can't stand
Knock
it.
them off their pedestal.
You want to talk about a team that I really don't like?
That's Miami.
It's Miami.
Yeah, but you know, almost
Almost as much
don't.
as Ohio State. Don't like them.
Yeah, well, hey,
And Dave didn't even catch that.
They didn't catch that, but I know they.
Ohio State.
Yeah, that's exactly, Kirk. We the people. That's exactly right. We the people. All right. It's been a great show. Love each and every one of you guys. Dave's already told you how you can subscribe and like the show. We'll be back on Friday night. Oh, by the way, I wrote something down. Did you see that, B? The middle school waxed Palatka tonight, 46-14. Or where did I write that down at? Oh, here it is. Oh, 46-14 over Palatka. What Byron was saying about when we was talking about the tornadoes, it's just it is.
They just get better and better and better every year. It's so good, and that's a good way to end this too, David, because that subject is really, to me, very, very depressing. Because this is not how Americans are supposed to act. We're not supposed to shoot each other. We're supposed to go, okay, I don't agree with you. I do agree with you. You convinced me to see part of your side, and I understand it more now.
Let's go to the buffet.
Or I agree. We're going to have to agree to disagree and go our own separate ways and let each other live their lives.
Or we can put it and go to the buffet. Now,
you sound like Roger Cruz. That's scary. That sounded like Roger Cruz.
Oh my goodness! Oh God!
Everybody needed to laugh.
Everybody, we all need to laugh. But you know, me and Byron, we've done this before. And look, you know, I agree with most everything Byron said. I see my points on some of this too. I was trying to bring it all together, and you see what I was trying to do there.
And David, I understand, but I am really of the opinion that you're not going to be able to bring this all together.
No, you're not.
How do you?
I don't know. It's going to be tough.
How do you bring together? How do you come together with people that are celebrating somebody's death?
No, you can't do that.
As a Christian, how do you come together with somebody like that?
I told you.
That's the thing. There's enough people that are Christian in the Democrat Party to look at it and go, wait a minute. These people don't belong in my party. Because that's not how civil society acts.
Hey, I told you already that I didn't particularly like Joe Biden. I don't particularly like Obama. And I don't particularly like Hillary Clinton. But they're human beings at the end of the day, and I don't wish death upon none of them. Now, do I wish that they would get prosecuted on some of the things that they've done? Absolutely, but that's not. Hey, I'm not wishing death on them.
Well, I don't know how you would prosecute Joe Biden, because Joe Biden.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
There was even a lawyer that said something about some prosecutable thing that he did, and said you'll never convince a judge he was mentally capable of doing it.
And again, like I said, I don't wish death upon anybody. And that was a human life that was taken. And sadly, he leaves a beautiful wife and 2 kids. And like I said, family members on both sides. And to celebrate is horrible, horrible, horrible. I don't care who it is. And for people to sit there and go, he deserved it, laughing about it, this and that, and I'll agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. And you know what? You know, sometimes turnaround is fair play, and I'll just leave it at that. And you know, what if this everybody that was saying this, or the people that were saying this, something happened to them or their family members? What would they want?
Look,
it's you know,
what we got the what about thing going on now too, David.
Oh yeah,
talking about the state senator and our state congressman.
Yeah.
No, it was state congresswoman and her
husband. Yeah, in Minnesota. Right.
You cannot play what is. We were not celebrating that death. Matter of fact, most of us wish their family thoughts and prayers. It's not the only thing we can do as a general public. And then we get, well, you should curl down the rhetoric. Well, lo and behold, we find out that was somebody that had a personal beef with them, that knew them. So you cannot do the what-isms. This is a completely, for the most part, a different scenario where you've had a sniper sit up on top of a building and shoot somebody with 30-06 from 200 yards. By the way, everybody's talking about how incredibly skilled he was. I can teach a 10-year-old to sit up on top of it, sit and propped up on a table, and teach them to shoot 200 yards with that caliber rifle and hit the center of a target that big around constantly. That is not a hard shot for somebody that knows how to zero in a rifle, because the ballistics on it are going to be pretty much with the grain bullets that that rifle shoots. Is pretty much, if you zero it in at a certain yard, it's pretty much going to be back at zero at 200 yards, 215 yards, something like that, which is not going to make a difference at that range, how high or how low, unless, of course. And I really, honestly believe that rifle was zeroed there, and the guy was trying to shoot him in the chest, and he hit him in the neck.
Mitchell, I hope one of those 3 games is against Miami. He says Florida will only win about 3 games. Well, I hope one of them is this week. So I really do.
And then again, we play Miami later on in the season.
Yeah, we do. So we can take care of it.
And we'll take the state title with you.
Yeah, we can do that too. On behalf, a great show, by the way, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back on Friday night as we'll be broadcasting the Bradford Tornadoes versus the Eastside Rams right here at David Hurst Stadium, a.k.a. Tornado Alley. Me and Byron will be on the call. Pre-game show starts at 7, kickoff at 7:30 on the radio. Dave Holland. Dave, somebody asked me, and I know the last time you did, do you do the pregame? Do you just go right at kickoff, or do you do the pregame? People want to know if you could do the pregame. I said, I don't know. I'll ask him. I know sometimes it's a battery issue with your camera. Mm-hmm. They wanted to know if you could come on at 7 instead of 7:30.
Well, you said it right. It's a battery issue.
Okay. So you're just going to go, you won't get the pregame show. They'll just have to go from 7.
The battery issue I'm talking about is we're running off a battery on my laptop and my transmitter and receiver and the camera.
So you're putting a lot of power into
pushing it.
Okay.
By a 2-hour game.
Okay.
And then add another half an hour on to using those batteries.
Right.
And if in halftime, I find myself unplugging or plugging up to charge a battery.
Okay.
And usually that's my camera battery.
Okay. And they were just asking.
We could try it this week.
But you may possibly not get the end of the game if we do that, correct?
That's the trade-off.
That's the trade-off. Well, I'd rather not have that trade-off. They'll just have to listen to the pregame show or just not get in and come with the game because
tune in on 106.3.
Yeah. The question was coming from people on the outside of here.
The radio station.
Yeah, there was one guy from Maine that was asking me about that. He went to Bradford.
Well, I mean, we could try and see.
Well, we'll have to put something out there that you may not see the end of the game. And if it's a good game, it may cut off. But we can try it, man. I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
Okay, we'll try it.
I'm usually there at the same time you're there anyway.
Right.
And set up.
You could go on if you wanted to. You could, because you're waiting on us, right? After we do the pregame, me and Byron do the pregame. You're waiting for us to say, hey, the kickoff, boom. And then you're coming on the spot with David Rodgers and you're broadcasting the game.
Right.
So, I mean, if you wanted to try it, I mean, when he says 3, when Chuck tells me and Byron, hey, it's time to roll, or when we hear it on the radio at our place, by the way. So, because we pick it up with the radio, we just start coming on. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if you want to go ahead and do the pregame show, you can. And you can keep the camera. You don't even have to put the camera on me and Byron. You can just keep the camera out there on the field. And just keep it focused out there and rotate it. Watch the guys warm up while we're talking. It'll be mainly just the words. Mm-hmm. So I don't think they want to see us personally. I think they want to hear what we're saying about the teams and what we think the game outcome is going to be.
We try it.
All right. I'll let them know. On behalf, and again, you can catch us Friday night again, so make sure you tune in for that. That's why you got to hit and like that page, like Dave said. On behalf of D. Byron Bagwell, I love him, and sometimes we agree to disagree, right? We did agree to, and we wasn't even disagreeing. I was just trying to bring a point into our viewers here. And I knew what you were saying. I agree with everything that you were saying.
No pun intended. You were playing devil's advocate.
Of course I was. Yeah, and
I understood what you were doing.
Yeah.
You can argue with people till the cows come
home. Yeah.
There are intelligent people on both sides
Yeah.
that thought this was a horrid act. And it was.
It was.
The problem, and
well, we'll go into that. Yeah, we'll go into that another time.
Yeah.
Dave Holland, on behalf of you, sir, we appreciate what you do. You'll be at the ball game Friday night, right? Tell everybody that you'll be videoing the game Friday night.
95%.
And we're going to eat at Tony's beforehand, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to be there, right?
We'll try.
I
As
hope
I can.
Okay. Well, we'll try to wait as long as we can. Well, I'll get the equipment and all that.
Probably be there about 5:15, 5:30, something like that.
Okay.
We'll be able to do that, right?
Well, if I can, if I get the equipment, go ahead and set it up, we can. That's a good thought too. So we'll do that. We'll have Dave set up. We'll be ready to go.
I do have a final thought. You ready for my final thought?
Yeah. Pepperoni pizza. I to hear that. On behalf of Byron Bagwell, Mr. Austin Stevens, Dave Holland, myself, Mitchell Gunner, for all the Spot Motor Sports Media. God bless you guys. Have a great Tuesday night. Have a great rest of the week. And go Big Red. We'll see you Friday night. God bless you. We snack on danger, we dine on death, and dead men make no money. Good night.